Premier League live with Talksport.
Over the wall and in, and he shoots and he scores, and that's the win.
All the big goals and big moments from the world's biggest football league.
Oh yes, lightning fast counter-attack, absolutely phenomenal goal.
What's happened here?
Oh, it's a red card.
English football at its finest.
Oh no, the offside flag.
Referee makes the gesture and it is not going to be a goal.
Excellent finish.
Premier League live with Talksport.
You're listening to Talksport's coverage of Wolverhampton Wanderers against Liverpool from Molineux. I'm your host, John Anderson. Alongside me is the former West Ham and Toronto winger, Hogan Ephraim. This is Premier League Live. Welcome along. Hope you enjoyed the international break, but we're back to the serious business now in the English top flight as Liverpool aim for a fourth successive win and the chance to go top of the Premier League for a few hours at least after their strong start to the new campaign. Victories over Aston Villa, Newcastle and Bournemouth, plus an opening day draw at Chelsea, have extended an unbeaten run in the top flight to 15 games going back to April. Nonetheless, last season's fifth place finish was their worst in 7 years and denied Liverpool a Champions League place, so greater consistency over the whole season will be needed if former glories are to be restored. It's so far so good, but greater tests lie ahead. Wolves have lost 3 of their 4 games so far and look destined for another torrid season of relegation scrapping, although manager Gary O'Neill kept Bournemouth up against the odds last season, and Black Country fans will be hoping he can repeat that trick. Goals, though, continue to be the problem. Wolves were the season's lowest scorers in the Premier League in the last campaign, and the lack of a prolific striker is an ongoing dilemma. They beat Liverpool here 3-0 in one of 4 meetings in League and Cup last season, but it was a rare and long overdue success. Wolves have lost 12 of the last 13 Premier League matches between these two sides. They make one change and it sees them give a debut to central midfielder Jean-Rhys Bellegarde, a recent signing from Strasbourg. He only arrived on September the 1st, but he replaces Pablo Sarabia, who drops to the bench in the only change to the team which lost at Crystal Palace last time out. Liverpool are without Trent Alexander-Arnold. He missed England's 2 games in the break and has not yet recovered from a hamstring injury, so Joe Gomez moves to right back, and Jarrell Quansah, a 20-year-old local boy who joined Liverpool at the age of 5, makes his first Premier League start. Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz are rested after international games in South America, although Alexis McAllister does start. The ex-Wolves man Diogo Jota and Cody Gakpo come in, while new signing Ryan Gravenberch from Bayern Munich is among the substitutes. Delighted to have Hogan Ephraim alongside me for this one. Great start for Liverpool. They need to maintain it.
Yeah, they have to. I think that Liverpool probably had the best start out of all the teams. I know points-wise, obviously they haven't, but when you consider they've got Chelsea away and Newcastle away out of the pitch already, then Jurgen Klopp will be absolutely delighted with the points that they've accumulated. And that Newcastle result especially, unbelievable. 1-0 down to 10 men. They was under the cosh for a lot of the game, and Darwin Núñez came off the bench that day, and it was just unbelievable scenes for Liverpool. So yeah, they'll be looking for 3 points today, and that'll just continue their strong start. They had a good run out last time against Aston Villa, who they look a good team this season, Aston Villa, but Liverpool made light work of them, got them out of there nice and early. So yeah, I'd think Liverpool big favourites for today, but like you mentioned, Wolves, it's going to be a long old season for them. Yeah. Home form will be key. There's not many goals in the team. You don't picture Wolves winning too many away games. I know they did at Goodison Park a few weeks back, but they'll be few and far between. It's a tough job that Gary O'Neill's got, but he did brilliantly at Bournemouth last year, and he'll be hoping to replicate that.
Yeah. Liverpool, I mean, one of the criticisms I think from last season was a lack of depth in midfield, but they line up today. Curtis Jones, much improved, part of an England under-21 team that won the European Championship. Szoboszlai has come in and slotted in really well. Alexis McAllister, we know, is a quality player. There's no Luis Diaz. He's not even on the bench, incidentally. Núñez is among the substitutes. So they've got 2 players of that quality missing, but they bring in Gakpo and Jota. So there's not really too much wrong with that squad at the moment.
No, yeah, they've reinforced the midfield this summer. More youth, more legs, more energy. I think they needed that. Jordan Henderson, great servant, great player. Same likewise with Fabinho, but they just needed to refresh that area, and they've done that really well. The front line, I think they've probably got the best depth in the Premier League. They've got 4 or 5 attackers that can really make a difference, score goals. They're versatile as well. You could play Diaz on either side. We've seen Gakpo play through the middle or out wide, even in midfield at times. Darwin Nunez has played wide left and up front. So, yeah, I think Liverpool going under the radar. I think that they'll have a really good season, and it wouldn't surprise me if they ended up being the main challengers once again to Man City and replacing Arsenal.
Yeah. No Trent Alexander-Arnold. Joe Gomez will play at right back. It's a position he knows reasonably well. I don't know a great deal about Jarell Quansah, other than to say that he's a big central defender who's been at the club since he was very, very young, primary school age. Had a loan at Bristol Rovers last season, so he has a little bit of experience, but it's quite a statement from Jurgen Klopp to put him in.
Yeah, big statement. I'm sure he'll be excited, but he'll be very nervous as well. This is a big step up from playing for Bristol Rovers. I know he came on in from maybe about 10 or 15 minutes of the game at St James's Park against Newcastle.
He's made 2 sub-appearances, hasn't he?
Yeah, so he would have felt the Premier League atmosphere, the pace of it, but just training day in, day out with these type of players, some of the Liverpool players, the worldwide renowned names, so he will be used to it, but he'll just want to get off to a good start. The first 10-15 minutes will be vital for him, I think. Yeah,
the players are out there with young Quansah enjoying his smile on his face as he gets ready. He wears number 78 in this Liverpool team, and he's out there along with Ryan Gravenberch, who is on the substitute, so we could have a debut for him as well. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We'll be looking back, if you can remember, 2 weeks ago what happened in the Premier League, and looking ahead to all today's other games too on Premier League Live. Welcome back. It's a pleasant mid-September afternoon in the Black Country, where Wolverhampton Wanderers, who won 3-0 here against Liverpool last season, admittedly a rare success, but they'll be happy if they can get anywhere near that sort of situation today in the match, which is coming up in around 20 minutes. Let's just take a little breather and cast our minds back a couple of weeks. It seems like an awfully long time ago that we were last watching the action in the Premier League. Here we've got Wolves against Liverpool coming up very shortly for you. Let's get the views of the two managers ahead of this one then. Gary O'Neill and Jurgen Klopp.
Liverpool have been very impressive this season. I think they've made a big improvement from last season with their structure, and I've watched obviously all of their games so far this season, and they look a very good side. So it'll be a tough game for us, of course.
That's not a problem if you're a normal week. We always said that. If you're a normal week, it's not a problem. 12:30, that's easy to adapt. The only problem is the lack of recovery time. So we have 4 international breaks until March. 2 of them we have already the 12:30 kickoff. If I say a word about it, then the whole world goes again. He starts moaning again. This is a joke. We have players in South America. I didn't see them yet. In 24 hours we play. So, and this is, but it's like it is.
A few differences, but of course, similar noises around the place, from outside, around maybe being short of what the club needed, and it's going to be a tough season. And so, of course, some similarities, but a group that are very, very keen to work and are together, and are keen similarly to prove those doubters wrong. Obviously, we've had a tough start to the season. Fixture-wise, great result away at Everton. Should probably have got something from Manchester United and Crystal Palace. I think the group has shown already that we're going to have enough to be competitive in the games that we play this year.
When I stand in the dressing room and look at the team, I really, really love this team, and it's early days. And I really think it's easy for people to love this team as well. So that's all what we need, because we cannot, and Liverpool never could. We cannot start loving a team when we want something. We have to do it before, because then that's the only chance we can win something. So let's go for it, and then we will see. But what we did is we changed a few things. We brought in new players, and maybe for me a big difference is and I said it to players obviously that this is it's not year 8, because I think in October I'm here 8 years. This is year 1 of the new team, and that's exactly how we approach everything.
Yep, 8 years in the job next month for Jurgen Klopp. He's not very happy, is he, about the scheduling? It's all to do with television coverage, of course. Is he just moaning, or has he got a point? he's saying that the 12:30 kickoffs conspire against him, particularly in international weeks when the likes of Diaz and McAllister and Nunez have all been playing in South America and have just flown back.
Yeah, I understand what he means, but most teams in the Premier League are going to have 10-15 players away in the international break, and somebody's got to do the 12:30 kickoff. Yeah. You always want, after an international break, a home game if possible. So to get an away game on the early kickoff, yes, you'll be annoyed, but it's not conspiring against you. It's just the luck of the draw, really. So I think he's making something out of nothing. He'll want to win today and then still reinforce that point and make it look like it's the world against Liverpool. He wants to build that culture again at the club, and yeah, today's a great chance for him to go and get the 3 points, and then moan when you're winning. It's always better that way. Yeah, and Wolves will probably quite happy to hear him saying that, won't they? Because he's an unhappy man. So they are thinking, well, this is our chance. Obviously they have fewer, but Hwang Hee-chan, he's been playing for South Korea, hasn't he? So as you say, it's the same, but I think Wolves will probably grasp onto that and think, well, hang on a moment, let's try and get a psychological edge. Absolutely. Gary O'Neill will be telling them that in the first 15 minutes of this game is vital. Make Liverpool uncomfortable. Don't let them just settle into the game. Let them know that the atmosphere is going to be lively. Wolves be energetic. I watched Wolves at Old Trafford first game of the season. I thought they were brilliant. They thoroughly deserved the win that day. And in Matheus Cunha, they have a really, really good player. He's someone who can really trouble this back line. And Wolves will just want to get off to a good start, make Liverpool uncomfortable and make them feel sorry for themselves. For Wolves, I think it's going to be a long, hard season. I suppose these are the sort of games where a point would be a good point, wouldn't it? I know we've said that they're going to go for the win, but it's what you can pick up against the bigger teams that can ultimately rescue you. Yeah, definitely. I think you look years back and people used to say this game or that game is just a free hit. There's no free hits in the Premier League, especially at home. You've got to be confident that you can go and get your points, and Wolves will go out there today wanting a minimum a point, but they'll be looking for the win, and I think that they could cause Liverpool some trouble. You look at a full debut for Kwanzaa at the back. Matheus Cunha was causing Rafael Varane massive problems, so he should be licking his lips at this opportunity. Well, we'll find out very shortly, because we're 5 minutes away from kick-off at this famous old ground in the Midlands of the United Kingdom. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers against Liverpool. Two of the great names of English football coming together very, very shortly for you on Premier League Live. You're listening to Talksport's coverage of Wolverhampton Wanderers against Liverpool from Molineux. I'm your host, John Anderson. Alongside me is the former West Ham and Toronto winger, Hogan Ephraim. This is Premier League Live. So the English top flight is back after the international break. And we kick off with Wolves, who are sixth from bottom at the moment against Liverpool, currently third, but they could go top if they win, although Manchester City might have something to say about that later on in the day when they face their game at West Ham United. The two sets of players are gathered around the centre circle because we are all mindful of the awful events that have been happening in Morocco and Libya. Earthquakes in Morocco, floods in Libya, awful loss of life, tragic situations for both nations. The players are all wearing black armbands, and we will have a minute's silence ahead of the game today.
Those people affected by these awful events. This will start and end on the referee's whistle.
Well, an impeccable silence, as you'd expect, and our thoughts are with all involved in those horrible natural disasters in that part of the world. Here in Wolverhampton, Liverpool are in red, Wolves are in old gold and black, as you would expect. Liverpool were the team of the 80s in English football. Wolves were the team of the 1950s, pioneers. They won the title 3 times in that decade. They then won the FA Cup in 1960. They've had a few ups and downs along the way since then, but they are now an established Premier League team. They survived last season, and this season looks as if it'll be another situation where they will probably be involved in some kind of relegation scrap. Liverpool, of course, will be mindful that 5th place is simply not good enough for a club of their stature and tradition. They are not in the Champions League, they're in the Europa League, which, with the greatest respect to that competition, is not really where Liverpool would expect to be. But that's the situation they find themselves in. But today it's about trying to earn a 4th successive win after a splendid victory against Aston Villa, an even better one arguably at Newcastle, and one against Bournemouth as well. Here come Wolves coming forward early, and it's the new signing Bellegarde who's weaving his way through. This is an impressive start for him, and he's won a corner, the number 27. He showed good pace, balance and skill there. Don't know too much about him, if I'm honest. He came from Strasbourg on an undisclosed fee, but that was a pretty good start.
Oh, brilliant for his confidence, that. A minute into your debut, you've skipped past Joe Gomez, running past McAllister, and then Matip gets across to cover, but that will do him the world of good. Get his confidence up, and yeah, a corner a minute and a half into the game, exactly the sort of start Wolves would have wanted. He
has played 2 games, for 3 actually, for Strasbourg this season. He's got 3, a couple of goals in that period. Here's Neto's corner, it's flicked on and then headed away by Liverpool. It was a nicely taken corner to the near post. There was a flick on towards the danger area, and it was hooked away and then knocked long by Wolves. The ball bobbles and bounces out of play for a goal kick. Wolves have Jose Sarr in goal. Making his 100th Premier League appearance today is Nelson Semedo at right back, then Craig Dawson, Max Kilman and Ryan Aït-Nouri. Across midfield, Jean-Risner Bellegarde, who we've also already seen in action, Mario Lemina, Joao Gomez, and up front Pedro Neto, Mateus Cunha and Hwang Hee-chan. Liverpool have Alisson in goal. The back 4 is Joe Gomez, in for the injured Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joel Matip and Jarell Quansah making his first Premier League start at the back. Virgil van Dijk, of course, has had his suspension extended to 2 games, so he's ineligible today. Andy Robertson captains the side, having captained Scotland in midweek against England. He's making his 200th Premier League appearance for Liverpool today. Across midfield, Curtis Jones, Dominic Szoboszlai and Alex McAllister. Up front, Mo Salah, Cody Gakpo and Diogo Jota, as a rather harmless ball across the box comes in from Dominic Szoboszlai. But he was fantastic, wasn't he, against Aston Villa, and has made a very, very good start. Captain of Hungary in recent internationals, and he slotted in really well at Liverpool, hasn't he?
Oh, he slotted in perfectly. You can see his technique, his range of passing, but he's also got a great energy on him, and yeah, I think he will prove to be a very good signing for Liverpool. He's got goals in him as well. But it's been interesting the first 3 minutes here. Joe Gomez doing the role which Trent Alexander-Arnold has done recently, of coming into midfield when Liverpool have possession. We see it's a trend at the moment. The likes of Zinchenko do it at Arsenal, and it'll be interesting to see how comfortable Gomez is at doing that, because by trade he's a centre-back, of course.
It's given away by Liverpool in midfield, and suddenly Wolves come forward with Cunha, who is the danger man. There's cover there though from Joel Matip, but McAllister has been penalised. It's an early yellow card for the Argentinian World Cup winner, because prior to that Matip clearance, the referee spotted an infringement, and McAllister has gone into the book. Yes, he tried to. He certainly did, didn't he? Put his arm out and deliberately. I think you could say that Michael Oliver probably got that one right. There wasn't a huge amount of contact, but it was a deliberate attempt to pull his man down.
Most definitely. And Michael Oliver, he normally tries to be quite lenient early on, but he has no choice there. But that's worrying for McAllister.
Yeah, it is.
He's the deepest of the 3 midfielders today. It's not his most natural or comfortable position. And to be on a yellow card already, Cunha likes to drop off and run at the heart of the defenders, so he could be in trouble.
Quickly taken free kick. Here's Bellegarde, curls it into the box dangerously. He looks lively, and Wolves fans will have enjoyed the opening 5 minutes of his career in Old Gold. That's a nice turn on the far side. Wolves have started well here. This is Semedo, lovely run. Nelson Semedo clips it forward. It was a clever ball. It's still not clear for Liverpool. Semedo picks it up again and finds Bellegarde. And in the end, it's one pass too many for Wolves. But they look, as we said, didn't we? You know, we were talking about that Klopp being unhappy and miserable about the timing of the game. Gary O'Neill's men have started as if they really want to get at them quickly.
Yeah, perfect start so far. 5 minutes in, you've had a corner already, you've had a free kick in a dangerous position, a yellow card for a Liverpool player. You're making life uncomfortable for them, and that's what they need. The fans, you can hear, they're buying into it. They've been very pessimistic, and rightly so, the Wolves fans this season, when you look at the transfer business that's been done, but nice encouraging start for them.
It's the 5th time that these two teams have met in this calendar year. They played an FA Cup tie which was drawn at Anfield before Liverpool won here. Wolves were 3-0 winners handsomely against Liverpool in the league game at Molineux, but Liverpool were victorious at Anfield. So that win by Wolves was a rare one. They've lost 12 of the 13 Premier League games most recently. Good challenge on Mohamed Salah by Ryan Ait-Nouri, and here's Bellegarde sweeping it back to Kilman. It's a strange ball across, but he's managed to find Semedo, who wriggles away from a challenge, but strong from Curtis Jones, who wants to take the throw quickly, finds Gakpo, can't control the ball, and it's hooked away by Dawson. It's been a lively start, and here's Pedro Neto as Wolves cross halfway again. They've been counter-attacking with pace here. There's an overlap on the left-hand side, but Neto's ignored it. He wants to go all the way. He's got to the byline. He's cut it back. It's a chance. It's a goal. Wolverhampton Wanderers have taken the lead. It's Hwang Hee-chan tucking it in at the far post. It was a lovely move down the left-hand side. Brilliant work by Pedro Neto, who's been such a contributor of goals. That's his 4th assist of the season, and Wolves have only scored 5, and the 5th of those has come courtesy of Hwang Hee-chan, and they've struck an early blow at Molineux. It's Wolves 1, Liverpool 0.
Oh, what a goal that is from Wolves' perspective. It's a clearance from Dawson. The link-up play there from Cunha, drops off deep, takes Matip into a position he doesn't want to be into, and then the rest of it's all about Pedro Neto. Brilliant play. He was one of the most exciting wingers in the Premier League before his awful injury, and this season he's really been getting back to form. The delivery is spot on. Hwang Hee-chan at the back post just makes nice firm contact with it. Alisson, the ball's past him within a flash. It's just beautiful play from Neto. What a start for Wolves, and exactly what they would have wanted.
Yeah, there was 7 minutes on the clock when that goal went in. Neto had a look, didn't he? Spotted Hwang. Robertson wasn't able to cut it out. Neither was Alisson. No real fault from the goalkeeper. The ball just squeezed, and it was over the line by the time that the Brazilian goalkeeper blocked it. Hwang Hee-chan celebrates. He scored in the FA Cup in that game I mentioned at Anfield, where they drew 2-2 with Liverpool. He also scored in the last game against Crystal Palace, which Wolves lost 3-2. Have Wolves at last found a goal scorer? My goodness me, they need one, don't they?
They do, and yeah, that was just brilliant. All from the front three. It starts with the number 9 dropping deep and releasing Neto. It's all about Neto from then on. Explodes past Matip, who's scared about giving away a penalty. And as Neto's got to the byline, I'm thinking Wolves need bodies in the box here. There wasn't anyone in a great position, but he gets his head up. He doesn't just play it in an area, and he sees Hwang, plays it across perfectly, and yeah, on the back post, coming in from the other side. Wonderful that from Wolves.
Yeah, that is, as I said, Neto's 4th assist, and Wolves have only managed 5 goals. I was talking about Wolves' goal-scoring problems. I mean, I'll come to that in a minute, because they're coming forward again here with Semedo. It's been a brilliant start by Wolves. And back it comes to halfway. They only scored 31 goals in the Premier League this last season. Yeah. Erling Haaland scored 36 on his own. And Erling Haaland has scored 6 this season, and Wolves have only scored 5. But they're coming forward again. It's another chance. And it popped up in front of Pedro Neto. And fortunately for Liverpool, there was a defender, I think Gomez, just there to pop it over his own crossbar. It was Hwang who teased it down the line. Early cross, and a good one too. Actually, I think that came off Neto last. I'm not sure that Gomez got a touch. No, it came off Neto's shin. He's been a brilliant provider of assists, Neto. And here come Wolves again. It's Hwang Hee-chan. They're absolutely bossing this one at the moment. Semedo, right-hand side, not closed down. Ball into the box. And the diving attempt by Bellegarde sees him not make any contact, but Ait-Nouri plays it into the box. and receives it again. It's Ryan Ait-Nouri. Liverpool are all over the place at the moment.
Oh, they look a shambles at the moment. I didn't think I'd be saying this, but Wolves are actually playing with a swagger. They look so confident. They look good in what they're doing. They look inventive, and they're getting balls into the box nice and early. Liverpool struggling to defend it.
And again, poor defending by Liverpool. Lemina played it. It was blocked, but he got there to the loose ball quicker as Liverpool dawdled. Gakpo tries to get it forward. Wolves intercept. There's a stumble there, though, from Gomez, but no harm done. And Wolves have been terrific in the opening 10 minutes and thoroughly deserve their lead. And you can hear the roar around Molineux. It is a passionately supported club. It's an iconic ground. It's a brilliant setting. And at the moment, they're loving it, the Wolverhampton Wanderers fans, as Robertson concedes a throw on the far side. They have been decent at home recently. Wolves have only lost one of their last 6 in the Premier League here and only 2 of their last 9, and the vast majority of their points last season did come at Molineux.
Yeah, they would have wanted a good start today, Wolves. The first 15 minutes was always going to be vital for them. Just get Liverpool out of their comfort zone and unsettle them a bit. But I don't even think the fans would have expected opening 11 minutes like this. So energetic, so quick on the break. They just look dangerous, and that's not something we've been able to say about Wolves recently, but they do look a real threat going forward.
Well, Liverpool have barely been in the Wolves half. Here's Jones. Once again, it's not a very good ball. It comes to Joel Matip on the edge of the penalty area. He finds Joe Gomez, who's playing at right back because of Trent Alexander-Arnold's ongoing unavailability due to injury. No Virgil van Dijk either. Ibrahima Konate is only fit enough for a place on the bench. So Liverpool do have problems at the back. As I mentioned, Jarrell Quansah making his first Premier League start. Debut came as a substitute against Newcastle United in a big win for Liverpool, but they're absolutely out of sorts here at the moment. Doesn't look like Liverpool at all at the moment, does it? They've been sloppy in possession. They've really not got forward at all. Salah has barely touched the ball, and their defending's been chaotic at times. They just need to settle down. Here is Salah finding Matip just inside his own half. They do miss Van Dijk, obviously, with his steadying influence and his captaincy. So I think Trent Alexander-Arnold captained Liverpool in the last game. Here's Salah then getting down to the byline, cutting it back. It's a chance, and it's one that's missed by a former Wolves player, Diogo Jota, who from around the penalty spot spun, made connection with his right foot, but has hoisted the ball a long way over the bar.
Yeah, for a player of Jota's quality, that's a decent chance. That he gets a good connection on it, but he's leaning back and it's always rising higher. But going back to the Wolves goal, there's been a lot of talk about Liverpool missing that defensive midfield player, and of course they've signed Endo, who's on the bench today, and McAllister's doing that role. But when Dawson initially clears the ball, it can't go into the centre forward's feet that easy. There has to be someone screening in front to clean that up, and it's just not the natural game of McAllister.
No. He's picked up a booking. That's another mistake. This time by Szoboszlai. And this is Neto. Danger whenever he's got the ball at his feet, given his productivity so far. Here's Bellegarde, who's been excellent thus far, and tries to get round to the byline again. He's won another corner with another clever flick. He looks a good player.
Yeah, he looks like he can cause problems. He's starting in that central area, a little bit in front of the midfielders, just off Cunha, but he's making dynamic runs into the channels, and it's giving the likes of Neto or Hwang on the other side options, and that's what they need.
They have a corner, 14 minutes played. Dawson has gone up to add his height to the situation inside the Liverpool penalty area. They won't want to concede a second here because they're very much on the back foot, Liverpool. They need to regroup and reconvene, but Neto's out-swinging corner is met by the head of Max Kilman, but it comes up off the top of his head and is easily claimed by Alisson. And Liverpool look to counter. It's Jota playing it in towards Mo Salah. Ryan Ait-Nouri was across to get the ball away. Robertson will keep it in on that far side and find Curtis Jones. Jones to Robertson. Robertson made the error that led to Jude Bellingham's goal in the Old Firm friendly, if you can call it that, between Scotland and England at Hampden. Here's Matip to Jota. Gakpo running through, but Jose Sarr is out quickly. Portuguese goalkeeper with pretty much his first touch of the game.
Yeah, but that was a little bit better from Liverpool. They kept possession in the Wolves half, just got the fans, quieting them down a little bit. Unlucky from Jota. He tried something smart and inventive, but just weren't on the same page as Cody Gakpo.
Don't forget you can join the conversation at Talksport Live if you're listening and you want to add your voice to the commentary. Antonia does. She says, great to hear Hogan on the commentary, tuning in from Australia. You've got a fan there.
Lovely tweet that.
That is a nice tweet. Clearly not impressed by me, just you. Wolves 1, Liverpool 0 then. And, well, if Jurgen Klopp was moaning before the game, he'll be moaning even more now because they've been awful, haven't they, for 15 minutes, Liverpool?
Absolutely. When you do interviews like that, it seeps through to the players.
Yeah.
So when they go a goal down early on and they know that the travelling they've been doing the last week or so, it just plays on your mind and you feel sorry for yourselves.
Here's Neto tussling with Gomez, who he's had much the better of so far. He can't quite find space for a pass. Liverpool get it away. It comes off Aya Nouri and goes away for a throw-in. Oh, finally a lull after a pretty breathless opening to this game. Gomez plays a poor ball again. It's picked up by the youngster Kwanzaa, who is from Warrington, which is not very far along the M62 from Liverpool. You could call him a local boy. Joined the club aged 5 and not at fault for the goal. But here he is again. He's 6'3" tall, 20 years old, a big lad. And with the crisis that Liverpool have got at the back, with 2 out injured and 1 suspended, he's got his chance here. This is Robertson, who's making his 200th Liverpool Premier League appearance today. Now it's Szoboszlai, who got his first goal for the club against Villa last time out. Good tackle by Neto. And it goes away for a throw into Liverpool, about 10 yards from the corner flag on the near side.
He started really well today, Pedro Neto.
Yes, he has.
He looks a threat going forward. He's doing the defensive work. I do believe before his injury, I did think he was going to one of the top clubs in the world. Even the Real Madrids of this world, I thought he was that good. And he's just never really recovered and bounced back. But it's good to see this season he started off well. Hopefully he can continue that.
Yeah, I was going to say about his record for assists is extraordinary. His goal scoring isn't quite as impressive. 2 goals in 55. But he did score against Liverpool, albeit in a defeat season before last. Here's Jota, who's being booed by the Wolverhampton Wanderers fans. Now it's Szoboszlai, the Hungarian, just trying to prod it forward. Liverpool have lost it again. And suddenly Bellegarde, who's full of running. 128 appearances for Strasbourg in French football. He was also once of Lens. Here's Neto! He's gone for the near post, which was a clever idea, but he's not found the target. But Alisson might have been a little bit wrong-footed had that been a couple of yards inside the post.
There's a lovely little bit of skill to get away from Szoboszlai. He's hit it on his right foot and he will strike on either foot, but you did mention that goal record, so it's not surprised to see it drift wide. But Wolves just look so good breaking, and they break with pace centrally. They done it at Old Trafford on the first game of the season, just running through the heart of the Manchester United midfield. And you've got Bellegarde. He looks powerful, he looks skillful when he's got the ball. Cunha, brilliant. I think he's probably the best dribbling striker in the Premier League. He completes so many dribbles. And then Neto, his energy and pace as well. They look a real threat.
Yep, they do. And they've been much the better team for the opening 19 minutes. Sandra Kirby is with us on the way to the grocery store, listening in the car and enjoying the commentary. Thank you, Sandra. Here's McAllister for Liverpool, walking a tightrope after a very early booking. The Argentine World Cup winner. Coming up to a year since the World Cup's gone quickly, isn't it?
Unbelievable.
Incredible, isn't it? The way time flies. Here's Liverpool trying to make some sort of impact in this game. It's McAllister in centre midfield inside the Wolverhampton Wanderers half, finding Andy Robertson, but he has to check and go back, and it's all rather slow-paced at the moment from Liverpool. This is Matip, and now Gomez finding Salah on this near side. There's always danger lurking when he has the ball. That's a really good tackle by Ryan Aït-Nouri. Salah is trying to make amends, but Aït-Nouri is cleared. Header subsequently from Neto drops at the feet of Matip. Now it's Szoboszlai. He's given it away. Liverpool have given the ball away so many times. To be fair to the Hungarian, he did recover and make a recovery tackle, but they've been so poor in possession, Liverpool, haven't they, so far?
As you mentioned it, they just gave it away twice more, and it's just sloppiness from them. They look unsettled by the intensity that Wolves are playing at. We mentioned Joe Gomez playing in that midfield role. I'm not sure that's where you want him on the ball. I think if you're Wolves, you're happy if Joe Gomez is dictating the game, with all due respect to him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's something that is relatively new, I suppose, to the Premier League. John Stones does it for Manchester City, and of course Trent Alexander-Arnold does it for Liverpool, but Trent Alexander-Arnold, as you say, with no disrespect to Gomez, has qualities that Gomez doesn't have.
Exactly. You could foresee Trent playing in a midfield role in the future.
Well, he has done for England.
Yeah, he has done for England, So Joe Gomez, even when he's at right back, his best qualities are defensively.
Yeah.
He's not great going forwards. You don't really want him on the ball there. I want to mention Aït-Nouri as well. I think he started off really well today. Yeah. He's got a tough game on his hands against Salah. Yeah. I think no one's ever doubted the quality of Aït-Nouri as a footballer. Sometimes defensively you want a bit more, but he started really well today.
Yep, I would agree with that. Throw is repelled by Liverpool, but again the ball's come straight back to Wolves. It's Hwang, but he's given it away. It's almost become contagious, and Liverpool try and get forward. Here's Mo Salah midway inside the Wolves half. Good ball, and Szoboszlai carries it forward. But again, it's a poor ball, and that's nice play by Semedo. Not such a good pass subsequently, though. Tried to find Cunha, and it was nicked away by Liverpool. I mean, we're midway through the first half. I would say that Liverpool have probably given away possession at least 15 times already.
I was just going to say, honestly, Liverpool's passing has been so bad. Some of these, they're unforced errors as well. You can understand if you're under pressure sometimes and you just miss the target of a player, but poor how they're giving the ball away so cheaply, especially when they've seen how threatening Wolves are in transition. It's just so sloppy.
Here's Szoboszlai, centre midfield for Liverpool, who still haven't woken up. Klopp was moaning about the jet lag that some of these players have suffered in the international break, and they've given away it again. And to be honest, they look jet lagged, don't they? They look like players who haven't had a night's sleep.
They do.
I mean, he's rested two of them, but I mean, to be honest, the likes of Andy Robertson didn't have a long way to go, did he, up to Glasgow? Obviously McAllister and Diaz and Nunez were involved in longer trips, but as he said, Wolves have also had players involved in international football in midweek. But I can't remember seeing a Liverpool team starting a game as ragged as this, especially when you consider how well they've started the season.
Yeah, no, it has been surprising. They're just letting Wolves get at them, but on the ball, so poor. You need to see more intent.
This would be a huge win for Wolves if it were, it's a big if at the moment. They'd climb up, they'd be level on points with Manchester United and above Chelsea at the moment if they win this game. Of course, United are in action in our featured game at 3 o'clock. Chelsea are in action tomorrow against Bournemouth down on the south coast. You can also hear Everton against Arsenal, and on Monday night Forest against Burnley. Free kick to Liverpool, 24 minutes gone. They need something just to lift themselves. Szoboszlai is assessing the options ahead of him. Robertson is also standing over the ball. It's going to be Szoboszlai to chip it. It's a useful looking ball, and it's headed away by Hwang Hee-chan, and then the follow-up header allows Aït-Nouri to clear, but he's sliced it. It looks like he might have injured his shoulder in doing that. I'm not quite sure how, but he sliced the ball straight out of play. It's a throw to Liverpool, which Gomez takes. Szoboszlai just rolls it across towards Jarel Kansar. Now it's Robertson finding Jones. Back to Robertson again. He's just in front of the halfway line now. Again, it's a bit ponderous, isn't it, from Liverpool? Here's Gomez, right-hand side. And back to Matip. Wolves are happy with this. They've got a good shape. Liverpool are not really asking any questions of them at the moment, and there's always the possibility that Liverpool are going to give it away. Here's Matip, though. Just ups the ante a bit. Bit of space for Gomez. There's the cross. It deflects, and deflects very kindly indeed for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Up off right Nuri and into the capable gloves of Jose Sarr, who has not had one moment of panic in the opening 25 minutes at all.
No, they've been very comfortable defensively, Wolves, and it's all well and good Liverpool keeping possession, but you mentioned there when they up the ante, they have to quicken it up at a certain stage. They're just 2-1 paced at the moment.
Lost in 15 Premier League games since they were beaten 4-1 by eventual champions Manchester City back in April. But that doesn't really tell the story of last season, where they were never really in the hunt, were they, at all, having pushed City so close the season before, and of course having won the title in 2020. That's a good ball though, and here's Jota, rolls it across. Ait-Nouri is there. Salah was poised, but Ait-Nouri had read that well. But Liverpool will have their first, I think it's their first corner of the game. Gakpo with the cross, couldn't find Salah, but finally Jurgen Klopp is clapping his hands. He hasn't had much to celebrate so far.
Yeah, but it was much better that from Liverpool. McAllister punches the ball through for Jota to run onto. He's wanting Gakpo to get across the near post quicker. I think he has a fair point. But that was better. They're threatening with runs in behind.
They have a corner. Andy Robertson will take it from the near side, which means a left-footed out swinger from the Scotsman. It's a solid header away though by Craig Dawson. And then Liverpool give it away again, and here's Neto. He's completely on his own. There's no one anywhere near him in an old gold shirt, but can he do it all himself? No. It's McAllister who got back well to do the defensive job. And, well, again, it came from a Liverpool mistake.
It did, and when you saw Curtis Jones was the last man back, I fancied Neto to get past him, but the touch just let him down. And then there was recovering bodies. Szoboszlai did well recovering too. But there's going to keep being chances for Wolves on the break. So sloppy from Liverpool.
Should he have had a bit more support there, though? There was never an option for him,
there was never
other than to go his own way.
Yeah, you're just hoping that maybe he could do a wonder solo effort, but he just got crowded out in the end.
Leicester did one yesterday against Southampton. I don't know if you saw that. It was a 70-yard run.
Unbelievable.
Leicester, of course, down in the Championship, but doing well. They're top of the table, and Southampton, another team who went down, were beaten 4-1. Oh, here come Wolves again. It's Bellegarde finding Neto. The two have been excellent so far. Neto plays it up towards Juan, who controls it with his chest, tries to get the cross in. Robertson covers and concedes a corner, but again, particularly Bellegarde and Neto, they look like they've been playing with football with each other all their lives.
You've hit the nail on the head. Honestly, we're just shy of 30 minutes, but Bellegarde, for a debut, this is very impressive. Yes. He looks powerful, he looks brilliant. He's travelling with the ball well, releasing it at good times. Wolves look like they could have signed a really good player there.
Yeah. He can play wide or centre midfield, Bellegarde. Only 7 goals during his time at Strasbourg suggests that he's a creator rather than a scorer. The Wolves have a corner here, and given the fact that they've been so dominant, they may be disappointed if they don't get a second goal. In it comes. It's a good delivery. Dawson's there, but Liverpool managed to clear it. It was a wicked in-swinging corner towards the far post, and Dawson, West Ham fans I'm sure will remember, gets the odd goal from those sort of positions.
Yeah, he's so dominant in both boxes, Dawson. He'll be a little bit disappointed in how he's headed the ball there. It's just come off the side of his head and gone flying the opposite direction. There's a really good chance, but the momentum, he was flying at it. He probably didn't have great control of his body, but great delivery from Neto.
He actually scored on his debut against Liverpool in that 3-0 win in February last season, Craig Dawson, and he hasn't scored since for Wolves. But he's had an amazing sort of Indian summer of a career, really. He was at West Brom and Watford, then he went to West Ham and did well there. And he's doing well at Wolves. Here come Wolves again. Here's Bellegarde. Oh, he attempted perhaps a little over-elaborate. He tried to flick it into the path of Neto with the back heel. maybe not quite what was required there.
Yeah, he was a little bit caught in two minds there, and he tried something that wasn't on, but it does show you that he does have an inventive side to him, and he sees pictures in his mind. But Wolves look dominant. They look really good.
Yeah. What you don't really want is a player who does that all the time.
Yeah, exactly that.
There's a time and place. That's a lovely crossfield ball by Gomez, and it's picked out Semedo. Semedo into the box. Not a good cross, but Matip has conceded another corner, and the Wolverhampton Wanderers fans behind that goal are banging their hands together in delight because they are completely controlling this game. But you need a second goal, don't you? And they're not big scorers, Wolves. And if they don't get a second goal, you know, you can foresee a situation where things turn around. This is their fourth corner of the game. It's come in the 31st minute. It's going to be taken by Pedro Neto, who's been absolutely terrific so far. Kilman and Dawson are up again. So too is Mario Lemina, the big central midfield player. They've got it towards Dawson again. This time he has connected, but he's put it wide at the far post. But that's the second time that Neto swung a corner deep and Dawson's been the first man up.
Yeah, he's like a magnet to the ball in the penalty box, Dawson. Great leap on him as well. He's already a unit of a guy. But Wolves look good. Good switcher play there from Joe Gomez out to Semedo it was when they was breaking. And the one criticism I'd have of Cunha is he's a striker where when Semedo had the ball, I would love to see him darting into the 6-yard box, but he wants to peel out to the edge of the penalty box and everything to feet.
They need a centre forward, really.
Do.
I mean, they had Raul Jimenez, who's moved on, of course, but never quite the same player after that awful head injury he had. Then they tried Diego Costa, and that didn't work out. Here's Diogo Jota, once of this parish, finding Robertson. Now it's Gakpo. Back to Jota again. And now McAllister in centre midfield. That's a useful clip ball. Keeper's read it, though. No, Jose Sarr came out very sharply to make sure that Mohamed Salah was not going to get anywhere near that one. Salah hasn't had any great impact in this game, but he did score in the last game against Aston Villa, and he is a prolific scorer in the past against Wolves. He scored 5 times against them in previous fixtures, although only one of those here in the Black Country. Great tackle by Mario Lemina to win the ball back in midfield for Wolves, who finds Ryan Ait-Nouri. Neto on this near side. Ait-Nouri again. Wolves once more asking questions of the Liverpool defence, but it's a slower build-up this time. Lemina finds Kilman, and now it's with Craig Dawson. Nice little first-time ball round the corner from Gomez. Picks out Semedo. Here's Bellegarde.
Wolves have the bit between their teeth today. Even when João Gomez and Lemina win the ball back, the game's going on.
Oh, brilliant by Pedro Neto as he controls it, gets into the box, chips it in. Oh, it should have been 2-0. I'm not quite sure how it wasn't. It was a completely mistimed header, and Liverpool might break here, but it's a poor ball. They had an opportunity there to counter-attack immediately, but I'm still trying to work out how Wolves have failed to make it 2-0. Neto with absolutely brilliant skill, and Cunha just seemed to make a complete mess of his header. Neto's had Gomez on toast, and what's he done? He's climbed to head it, and it's hit his chest. He's just got it all completely wrong.
I have no idea what he's done. He's got to head it, but has he tried to use
and
his
he's jumped
stomach
over the ball, and it's bounced off his belly and onto his knee.
That's outrageous from Cunha. I don't know how he's made a mess of that. But
this is the problem Wolves have.
Yeah, exactly, that in a nutshell.
If you put a lot of strikers on the end of that, you know what's going to happen. Harry Kane, Erling Haaland. I'm not suggesting they get someone of that quality.
No, of course.
But any striker worth his salt is going to put that away. And it wasn't even if he missed a header, he just seemed to jump too early, or he misjudged. I'm not sure what happened there. It was a strange one. But Liverpool are grateful because on another day they'd easily be 2-0 down.
Who won't be grateful is Pedro Neto, because that
given
was
away by McAllister now, and a shot from long distance, and he didn't really quite get it right. It was Cunha again, I think, and he spotted Alisson was on the edge of his penalty area, but he didn't get any height on the effort. But Liverpool just haven't learned any lessons. We're 10 minutes away from half-time. It's been a shambolic performance. It's the only way you can describe it. and they've been put to the sword, and yet they're only a goal down. Again, with a bit of composure, Cunha might have somehow. He spotted Alisson. He was on the edge of the 18-yard box. He tried to chip it, but it only went about 6 inches off the ground. Here's Gakpo, and chipped in by Jones towards Robertson. Good tackle by Aït-Nouri.
Yeah, Gary O'Neill will really want this second goal.
Yeah, he needs it, doesn't he? Because it's happened so often. One thing Wolves will know, Liverpool can't possibly be this bad for the whole game, surely.
Exactly that.
And Mohamed Salah has been involved in 10 consecutive games. He's either had a goal or an assist. He likes going against Wolves. He only needs one chance. I mean, if that's Salah there on the end of that cross, it's 2-0, isn't it? No question. And yet, Cunha has made a mess of it, and that could be very costly. It's back with Alisson. Even he's almost not playing particularly well with his feet. He's probably one of the best in the division, probably in the world, as a goalkeeper who distributes. He's just made a poor ball out wide. Everybody in red and Alisson in green are not performing properly at the moment. Here's Cody Gakpo.
Pedro Neto, going back to that chance for Cunha, he's absolutely skinned past Joe Gomez. He would have been so disappointed that's not ended up in a goal. It would have been highlight after highlight.
Here's Jota tangling with Hwang. Hwang wants to let the ball run out of play, and Jota tangles with him. The Liverpool fans want a free kick. They're not going to get one. The ball is cleared. It comes to Joel Matip on halfway, and Hwang has gone down holding his head in the area, so we are going to get a slight break as that is sorted out and the physios are allowed. I think he's going to be okay, Hwang Hee-chan. He's the man who's got the goal that separates the two teams. It's his third goal of the season. He's now got 3 in 4, having previously only got 1 in 8, so he's beginning to look like someone who, I mean, they'd have liked to have had him on the end probably of that Neto cross a few moments ago. I think everything's okay with Hwang, and we will resume very shortly with the ball going back into the Liverpool half. 38th minute, just a reminder, stay with us. Manchester United against Brighton is our featured 3 o'clock kickoff, followed by Newcastle against Brentford at 5:30. Also Spurs, Sheffield United, West Ham, Manchester City is a huge one, and Villa, Palace and Fulham Luton are all taking place today. Here's Cody Gakpo, who scored in both of the Netherlands international games in midweek. Here's McAllister finding Robertson, back to McAllister again, and now it's Szoboszlai. Robertson on the far side, low in, Gakpo miscues. Well, that was Liverpool's most clear-cut chance. It was a good cross from the left-hand side by Robertson. Got the thumbs up from Jurgen Klopp. The finish didn't, though. Gakpo, as I mentioned, he was in form for his country in front of goal, but, well, for a striker, that's a bad miss. He sliced across the ball and it's gone, 10, 15 yards wide?
Yeah, similar to what I said about Jota earlier. Players of that quality, that's a good chance. And that's on his favoured right foot there, Gakpo, 12 yards from goal. You have to get a better connection. What was promising for Liverpool was when the cross came in, there was 5 bodies in the box. The 6th one was making it in the box. A lot more attacking intent.
He helped the Netherlands beat Greece and Ireland in the international break, European Championship qualifiers, of course. Here's Craig Dawson. Hwang nearly runs into trouble but wins it back. Here's Semedo. Now it's Dawson again. 6 minutes to go to half-time. Wolves have been absolutely the better team, but only 1 goal to show for it. Here's Bellegarde, quick feed again, and that's an excellent ball. And here's Neto down the inside left channel into the penalty area, clips it across towards Hwang. Bellegarde tries to shoot, doesn't get a proper connection, and it's blocked on the edge of the box by Curtis Jones. But Bellegarde's almost every touch has been of massive quality, hasn't it?
Yeah, I know we're 40 minutes in, but him and Pedro Neto have a real connection with each other. good players. They just connect instantly. Those two can cause such problems to turn from Bellegarde. They're brilliant. Skips past McAllister.
Good ball too.
Yeah, and then a great pass to release Neto. I just wanted to see him whip it across the face of goal like he did for the goal. He just stood it up a bit. It turned into a little bit of a mess, but still promising from Wolves.
Yeah. Well, if we didn't know much about Jean Risner Bellegarde before, we do now, because he's had a superb opening 40 minutes, the 25-year-old. We didn't expect him to start the game, but he's in for Pablo Sarabia. And he's been well worth his place so far. Here's Gomez for Liverpool, who's had a torrid afternoon so far at the hands of Pedro Neto. He's found McAllister, support from Robertson. And now it's Robertson again, trying to chip it forward. That's a useful looking ball. It's chased by Szoboszlai. He'll get there, hangs it up, good cross, but again Jose Sarr is equal to it. Came out and grabbed on the edge of his 6-yard box pretty comfortably, wearing a fluorescent yellowy lime green goalkeeping jersey. Klopp is grimacing under his red baseball cap, and well he might, because this has been way below what Liverpool fans would expect, and plenty of them have made the trip down the M6 to the Black Country, so called because of its coal mining traditions and heavy industry. Wolves have a throw midway inside the Liverpool half on the far side. Their only prior win this season was at Goodison Park against Everton, who are under new owners this week. That's a cross which is a little bit long, but Neto will pick it up on the edge of the penalty area and try to get more trickery. Gets the ball in, it's headed away by Quansah, and then back it comes via Lemina, but Wolves still have it with Ait-Nouri. Ait-Nouri, well, it was a good idea. He tried to play the ball down the channel. Again, Liverpool have given it away, and Ait-Nouri is onto it quickly and finds Cunha, and now Lemina. That's not a good ball. The other thing that strikes me, Wolves have been hungrier, haven't they?
Yeah.
Quicker. They've been winning all the 50-50s.
Exactly that. They are first to absolutely everything. Any misplaced pass, it's a Wolves player getting up on the ball. They're winning all the second balls, and it's been poor from Liverpool. Liverpool at this stage just want to get in at half-time at 1-0, because Wolves are really ahead of steam. And you look at the stats there, 8 shots, 2 on target, compared to Liverpool's 2 shots, 0 on target. They've offered nothing, Liverpool. It's been diabolical from them.
Yeah, it has. Matt is in Wilmington, North Carolina, enjoying the commentary with coffee. If you're a Liverpool fan, you might need something a bit stronger than that. Here come Wolves. Oh, Neto's done incredibly well to keep the ball in, and then to find Cunha. There's a covering tackle though by Andy Robertson, who'd scampered across from left back to right. But that just demonstrates Wolves' desire, doesn't it? I mean, that ball looked as if it was going out. He literally slid across and kept it in and created potentially another chance for his team.
I don't blame him having his hands on his knees as well. He has ran so much in this opening 43 minutes. He's been excellent, Neto.
Adebayo Ajakaye says he remembers the days when Diogo Jota, Raul Jimenez and Pedro Neto were at Wolves and caused big problems for defenders. Yeah, they were a great trio. Jimenez, before his unfortunate injury, looked potentially a prolific goal scorer. He has been from Mexico, but you're right. But today, Wolves have been absolutely fantastic. Here's Szoboszlai finding Gomez. Liverpool have 1 minute past stoppage time, of which I don't think there'll be much to try and get themselves back in it. Undeservedly, the cross does find Cody Gakpo, but he's headed the ball over the crossbar fairly tamely from about 15 yards.
Yeah, he got up nice and early. He rose well, but he could never guide the header down. It was always rising, never a threat to Jose Sarr. But Wolves now, they just want to see this through until half-time, get back in, regroup, get some energy back, because they've used so much energy in this first half, been really quick, really strong to every ball. They've pressed Liverpool over the pitch, so they just want this clean sheet going into half-time.
Kwabena Tawia is with us, enjoying the commentary from Accra in Ghana via City FM. Wolves are making my day. Hope they don't bottle it. Well, we've mentioned it, haven't we, that 1-0 is never a decisive advantage, particularly when there's a whole of a half to come, if that makes sense. But Wolves will, I think they'll be disappointed not to be 2-0 up.
Yeah, they will be.
Because, you know, as I say, Liverpool have to improve, surely. Klopp will invigorate them, I'm sure. There's still time, maybe. There's 2 minutes of stoppage time. Here's Diogo Jota, edge of the penalty area at his former ground. Just finds Robertson. Robertson curls it in. Useful looking cross. Gakpo's there. The goalkeeper's missed it. Salah shoots. There's a scramble. It's Szoboszlai. It's blocked. And somehow Liverpool are denied. Salah initially, and then there was a scramble. The ball broke to Dominic Szoboszlai, who fired it in, and it was an excellent block. And that is the only time in the whole of the opening half, really, that Wolves have looked in any kind of trouble. It wasn't good goalkeeping initially, but it was actually the keeper who got there to make the block to atone for his earlier error, and Wolves, deservedly it seems, will go into half-time leading. Oh, they might get another here. They're on the break. It's Cunha, edge of the box. Terrible finish. Well, if there's been one disappointing factor about Wolves, it's been his finishing, because he's had two chances now. Admittedly, that one, not an easy one. It was a really good run initially, but once he lined up the shot, he got it horribly wrong, didn't he? Scooped it miles wide, when a little bit more composure was called for.
It's probably been the story of his career. He's been at some good clubs, Atletico Madrid as well, but just never been clinical. His all-round link-up play and approach play is very, very good, Cunha. But from your number 9, you do want that cutting edge. Go and score goals, go and make goals, and he's just lacked that end product. But the Wolves defending there, die-hard defending, Lemina's block, and you've got 4 or 5 bodies throwing themselves in front of the ball. Brilliant.
It was poor initially from the keeper.
Terrible.
But he did atone, didn't he? It was him that made the block. It was real helter-skelter at one point in that penalty area. But here's Robertson. The 2 minutes are up in any minute now. We're going to hear the whistle from Michael Oliver, which signals half-time, and a hugely enjoyable half-time for Wolves, less so for Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp has sprinted down the tunnel as if he's preparing to take a deep breath and probably unleash 2 barrels at his Liverpool team, who've been absolutely awful this afternoon so far and deserve to be trailing. Hwang Hee-chan with the goal on 7 minutes at half-time. It's Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Liverpool 0 on Premier League Live. You're listening to Talksport's coverage of Wolverhampton Wanderers against Liverpool from Molineux. I'm your host, John Anderson. Alongside me is the former West Ham and Toronto winger, Hogan Ephraim. This is Premier League Live. Wolves leading by 1-0, and deservedly so. Liverpool were shocking in the first half, and Jurgen Klopp has reacted to that by a substitution which is imminent. Luis Diaz is going to come on, and Alexis McAllister, who didn't do a great deal in the first half other than get booked and give the ball away, has been or will be replaced. That is obviously going to give Liverpool more attacking options as Wolves come back out, no doubt mindful that if they don't get another goal, then Liverpool have what it takes to punish them. McAllister's looking rather rueful on the bench there. Doesn't look very pleased to have been substituted, but you can understand it, can't you? Because Diaz, they need a bit of fizz, a bit of effervescence, don't they, Liverpool? They've been flat.
No, absolutely. I thought you were describing one of my games, give the ball away and got booked. But no, he has been poor, McAllister, and it's a real attacking change. Diaz, he's so excited with the ball, can cause a real threat, and he will offer a different dynamic, and he'll cause Semedo some problems.
Yeah, so that's the change. None for Wolverhampton Wanderers in the second half. Liverpool all in red, Wolves in old gold and black. They have Jose Sarr in goal, a back four of Nelson Semedo, Craig Dawson, Max Kilman and Ryan Ait-Nouri. In midfield it's the impressive Jean-Risner Bellegarde, Mario Lemina and Joao Gomez. Up front, Pedro Neto, Mateus Cunha and the goal scorer Hwang Hee-chan. Liverpool have the ball here with Diaz. His first involvement, tries to play a 1-2 with Salah. It doesn't come off. Liverpool will need to approach this game with a little bit more gusto than they did in the first half. Alisson's in goal. The back four is Joe Gomez, Joel Matip, Jarrell Quansah making his first Premier League start, and Andy Robertson, Curtis Jones, Dominic Szoboszlai, and now Luis Diaz in midfield. Up front, Mo Salah, Cody Gakpo and Diogo Jota. Here is young Quansah, who had only made 2 substitute appearances in this division prior to today. Ball is chipped forward by Szoboszlai. Robertson's got there. Good cross and a header wide from Diaz, who almost capped his arrival with a goal straight away. That's probably the one moment of quality we've seen from Liverpool. Brilliant cross on the volley by Robertson and a firm header from Diaz, but it's gone wide of the post. But that's much better from them.
Yeah, unbelievable technique from Robertson there to pull it back on the volleyed cross. Fantastic. But it's a lot different to start. A minute and a half into the first half, Wolves had a corner. They were forcing the issue. There they let Liverpool just keep possession.
And they're coming forward now, or trying to, but the on-rushing Joao Gomez is thwarted. Liverpool have it in their own penalty area with Jarrell Quansah. The second consecutive home win over Liverpool in the Premier League were Wolves to achieve it, although Liverpool did win here in the FA Cup last season, thanks to a goal by Harvey Elliott, who's among the subs.
We probably didn't mention Joao Gomez and Lemina too much in the first half, but they've done a great job in just sweeping up, getting onto all the second balls and keeping the momentum going in Wolves' favour.
Here's Szoboszlai for Liverpool. Spreads it away towards the far side. It's a header, but only one that drops to Gomez, who finds Joel Matip. He plays a square ball across to his central defensive partner, Jarrell Quansah. Of course, Virgil van Dijk will be back for the next Premier League game, which is against West Ham United. Before that, Liverpool are in Europe, in Austria, to face LASK Linz. And they have a group that looks winnable. Saint-Gilloise of Belgium and Toulouse, the French Cup winners, are the other participants in that Europa League group. Here's Cunha. It's a strong run by Cunha, gets to the byline, but it can only find Alisson diving at his near post. It wasn't enough of a cutback to really trouble Liverpool, but it was a good run initially. He got beyond Diogo Jota, he then got beyond Joe Gomez. Gomez has not had a happy time at right back, has he?
No. He's been all over the place today, Gomez, and that's Cunha's strength. I do think he's the best dribbling striker in the league, and he can really cause issues there. There's other qualities that he lacks, of course, but he can be a real handful.
Ball down the line by Ait-Nouri. It's intercepted by Gomez. It's gone out of play. I think it's going to be a throw-in to Wolverhampton Wanderers, who scored in the 7th minute through Hwang Hee-chan, who squeezed the ball beyond Alisson after an excellent piece of play by Neto, who's contributed assists for 4 of Wolverhampton Wanderers' 5 goals this season, 3 of which have been scored by substitutes. Gary O'Neill looks on as Diaz looks to inject some sort of pace into Liverpool, but Lemina makes an excellent tackle. You're right about him and his central midfield partnership, Gomez. They've both been outstanding. They've given Wolves that platform, haven't they, for the likes of Bellegarde, who's on the ball here, and Neto to weave some magic, and that's what they're trying to do now down this left-hand side as the ball comes into Mateus Cunha. Now it's Lemina again. Now Dawson, a little bit of a heavy touch, and no harm done because Diaz can't keep it in on the near side. It's a throw-in to Wolverhampton Wanderers. We've had 5 minutes of the second half. Brandon says, listening to my favourite show here while walking the dog, I fancy a 2-1 Wolves win and a draw for Man City and a Brighton win. Wild shouts, I know. Hogan to my left. He's not hoping for a Brighton win, Manchester United fan, but that's our next game. And well, Manchester City draw. Rule that out at West Ham. West Ham have been good, haven't they? That's a 3 o'clock kickoff, actually.
I think it'll be a tricky game for Manchester City today.
Yep. Here's Matip back to his goalkeeper. One of my favourite stats, actually, of this whole weekend, nothing to do with this game, was that West Ham against Manchester City is only the second fixture in the Premier League era where two reigning European champions have met. The other was Liverpool against Chelsea in 2019, when Liverpool had won the Champions League and Chelsea had won the Europa League. City, of course, the European champions, and West Ham having won the Europa Conference League. Here's Andy Robertson finding Luis Diaz. Diaz down the left-hand side for Liverpool. Just delays his cross, cuts it back to Curtis Jones. Jones with a nice turn, but then loses the ball. And Liverpool wrestle it back, but Quansah's got nowhere to go here. He does well, the young defender. He's looking to avoid playing it back to his keeper. He's being positive, and he has found a forward pass to Szoboszlai, who picks out Gakpo. He's been one of Liverpool's underperformers, I would say, today, the Dutch striker. Szoboszlai runs into trouble. Wolves win it back. Lemina then gives it away. Here's Curtis Jones finding Luis Diaz. Diaz into the box. Right foot shot. Good block by Semedo. Corner, Liverpool.
Goal kick.
Oh, is it?
Goal kick, yeah. I think it was brilliant refereeing. I do think he's the best referee we have in the country, Michael Oliver. I think he's really good. He's lenient, but he's firm as well. He doesn't just bring yellow cards out, but he lets players know. He tells Lemina there, get up. He's not having any of that. And then great defending from Semedo. I thought he was beating all ends up at one stage, but he's done well to recover.
Yeah, must have bounced back off him. 7 minutes and a half have gone. Lemina is still on the deck. Former Southampton and Fulham player.
Looks like another 2 changes will be coming for Liverpool as well.
Yeah, Harvey Elliott is about to come on. And so too, it seems, is Darwin Núñez. Ball hoofed forward. Lemina, who we mentioned is okay, scored a winner famously for Fulham at Anfield in a rare Liverpool defeat.
It was a great goal, that as well.
It was. Back in March 2021, it was a terrific goal.
I think he's quite underrated, Lemina. I liked him in his spell at Southampton. I thought he did well at Fulham, although they didn't obviously do well that season. He went away to Galatasaray, he's come back, and I think he's done really well.
Yeah, he's done well today, that's for sure, and they've nursed the lead through the opening 8 minutes of the second period. Here is Dominic Szoboszlai. Back it comes to Quansah. Now it's Joel Matip wearing white boots, looking to get forward through centre midfield. Still has it at his feet, the big centre half. Now it's Curtis Jones. Got the winning goal for England under-21s in the European Championship final. Good ball forward by him, but extremely well read by Kilman, who manages to find Hwang, whose goal still separates the two teams. But it's been better from Liverpool. They've been more positive, haven't they, second half? They've taken care of the ball better.
Yeah, no, they have. Wolves are kind of sitting off them a little bit more, which I don't think is the smartest thing to do, but Liverpool are really starting to just lost possession.
Wolves are beginning to get a little bit deep, and Liverpool are threatening a little bit more. They haven't really produced a chance. Here's Szoboszlai though, finding Diaz. Diaz tried to get it through, it's come out with a chance. Salah! And in! It's tapped over the line, and Liverpool, through Cody Gakpo, have equalised in the 10th minute of the second half. Nicely worked around the edge of the box. Salah, I'm sure it was a shot, but it came through, and Gakpo was a yard out just to tap it over the line with his left foot. And what Wolves fans were fearing has come to bear, because they knew they needed a second goal. They didn't get one, and Liverpool have now equalised. It was Salah with the cross, Gakpo onside, simple tap in. Wolves 1, Liverpool 1.
Yeah, lovely little pass from Jota to release Salah, and then the alarm bells were ringing. When Salah gets in the box, you know he's capable of causing havoc, and he just fires it across with his weaker right foot. I think you're right, it was a shot, but Gakpo right on hand to just tap it in. That'll be his last action as well. He comes off, and it's such a big moment that for Liverpool. But we spoke at half-time, we wanted Wolves in the first 15 minutes to not just sit back, and they have allowed Liverpool possession, and it's cost them. It's now 1-1, and it'll be a hard last 35 minutes from here.
Yep, Gakpo's last touch was to tap the ball over the line and into the net. He hasn't had a good game, to be fair, and you can understand why he's been substituted. Darwin Núñez, who scored against Wolves in the Cup at Anfield last season, is on. Harvey Elliott we expect to arrive as well imminently. He is on, in fact, Elliott as well. Another one who scored a cup goal against Wolves last season. He got the winner here in that replay. So Salah has now... It was. Salah has now contributed either in a goal or an assist in all of his last 11 games for Liverpool. You're right, I think it was a shot rather than a cross, but he gambled. He got it across the keeper, and it was simple for Gakpo. Wolves will be furious, but I'm not trying to be clever and say I told you so, but we were talking about this, weren't we, at length at half time, of the fact that when you have a team without a recognised goal scorer who struggle in front of goal, it's inevitable that when you face any kind of quality, you can miss out, despite how well you play. Sorry, go on.
I don't want to be too harsh on Wolves in the way of, they do seem like they've sat back, but they did give so much in that first half.
They did.
That maybe took it out of them a little bit.
I think before the game they'd have probably taken a draw, given that Liverpool had won their previous 3 and were in good form, but it's often the way when you play so well, if you don't capitalise on your dominance, it can cause problems. That's a lovely ball by Salah, and here's Núñez with his first involvement. He's got Robertson to one side. Núñez tries to curl it in at the far post, but it's not had enough curl on it, and it's bounced and gone past the post. Harvey Elliott slid in hoping he could get a touch, but wasn't able to. But I'd be slightly worried if I was a Wolves fan now, probably more than slightly.
Yeah, Liverpool have their tails up. They've made the changes. They look like they've got that attacking threat now, and going back to the Gakpo goal in Salah's role for it, any young striker, any young forward watching that's exactly what you have to do in the penalty box. On your weaker foot, just get it hard and low across the face of goal. Goalies can fumble it, there could be tap-ins, anything can happen, so really good from Salah.
Wolves are going to make changes as well. Fabio Silva is one of those about to come on. Keith Magnuson is with us, loving the commentary, but you spoke too soon, especially when Liverpool are losing. They're now not losing, Keith, as you probably know. Having coffee in South Beach, Miami, with the football on the AirPods. Perfect morning, absolutely. But, unless you wanted Liverpool to lose, which is not quite as perfect. Here's Semedo crossing for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Liverpool get it away, but only as far as the edge of the penalty. Has a volley, and a spectacular one too. Comes in, but it's a long way over the crossbar. Gomez, I think, who had the attempt. It was ambitious. It wasn't a bad effort, but very, very high degree of difficulty there from Joao Gomez.
I was getting flashbacks of Ruben Neves in a Wolves shirt doing something similar. Must be a thing with that Wolves number 8 shirt.
Absolutely. Well, we're now in the 59th minute, and it's one apiece. And here's Robertson. He's got a bit of space down this left-hand side. Into the box, not a good cross. Dawson repels it, but Liverpool fans, you can hear them in that visiting section now. For the first time, really, they're beginning to have a sense that their team is on the verge of something here, because they had nothing to cheer first half other than a late scramble. But the more this goes on, the more you'd fancy them to go on and do the job. If they do, of course, they'll be top of the table, above Manchester City, who are in action against West Ham later on. So it may be a short stay at the top, but it's always nice to see your team at the top of the table, regardless of what the situation is. Darwin Núñez concedes a free kick, and the substitutions are going to be made. It's Matt Doherty, Irish international, who's going to come on to replace, or Fabio Silva is going to replace Hwang Hee-chan, and Mateus Cunha is the other player who's gone off. Fabio Silva scored in a League Cup win against Blackpool, but hasn't scored in the Premier League since May 2021. He's still a youngster, but he hasn't really convinced as a striker in a Wolves shirt yet.
No, he hasn't, and they paid big money to FC Porto to bring him over, and he's not really shown why yet.
No, he hasn't. Just 39th substitute appearance in the Premier League out of 59, so he's not a regular starter in a team who find goals hard to come by. There was a complete misunderstanding. Salah's furious there with Darwin Núñez. They've been a row. Darwin Núñez took a free kick, curled it away. Salah, it bounced him. I'm not sure whose fault it was, really, whether Salah wasn't concentrating and maybe felt that Núñez took the free kick too quickly, but they didn't seem terribly friendly, that exchange between the two Liverpool players, did it?
No, it didn't at all. Got to mention what a haircut that Matt Doherty's come on with as well.
Yes, I know.
What is that, a mullet?
No, it's not. It's a kind of, it's a sort of scraped at the sides with a ponytail kind of, but I don't know what you describe that thing. It's like a bob at the back.
Yeah.
It is. I didn't recognise him at first.
He
certainly didn't have that haircut when he was at Tottenham, did he?
No, he's gone to Spain and I don't know, I think the barber stitched him up before he's left.
Here's Harvey Elliott for Liverpool. They're standing off him. He's into the box, Elliott. He clips it away. It's high and hanging, but no problem for Jose Sarr in the end. I think Elliott just drove himself a little bit too wide there. Long kick forward by the Wolves goalkeeper towards Fabio Silva. He's just come on, but Alisson is there to hook it away.
Oh, wow.
And that's lovely control by Lamina. Here is Doherty with that haircut. I really honestly don't know how to describe that. Then I'm not an expert in coiffure. 62 minutes gone. Wolves 1, Liverpool 1. We're in for a cracking finale here at Molineux. Bellegarde's been quieter, hasn't he, in the second half? I haven't seen a lot of him. He was brilliant in the first half.
Wolves have just got to keep the faith. There will be space and chances for them to break, and then it's about how well their choice of pass is or their dribble is. So they just have to keep that faith.
They have the ball here with Semedo, who finds Gomez, who tries to nutmeg young Quansah, but is unable to. Here's another youngster, Elliott, still only 20. He seems to be around for ages. He made his debut at just over 16 for Fulham. Well, that's a poor touch from Robertson, but he's got away with it, and he's found Darwin Núñez. Núñez down the left-hand side for Liverpool. Into the penalty area, it's Darwin Núñez. Crosses, it's blocked by Wolves, and then hammered away by Doherty, the substitute. Liverpool beginning to get well on top now.
Yeah, they just look so much more threatening after these changes. The average position of Andy Robertson this half compared to the first half is immeasurable. He's been so much more advanced. And
here's Matip to Gomez towards Darwin Núñez, and just a touch from Dawson was enough to take it away from Darwin Núñez, who was poised. He's got a couple of goals this season, both of them of course famously in that win against Newcastle late on so dramatically. That was an excellent cross by Joe Gomez, who defensively has had a torrid afternoon, but you know, he's not particularly an attacking minded defender, but that was a good cross. Great delivery. That's the sort of area you want, and I just think Núñez there as the attacker, you have to gamble, just hope the defender's going to miss it. Play's been halted because Ryan Aït-Nouri, the Wolverhampton Wanderers fullback, is on the deck nursing an injury. Has Matt Doherty copied his hairstyle off Darwin Núñez?
Maybe.
If you visualise Darwin Núñez's hair with it scraped back and that kind of bun at the back, I reckon Núñez carries it off better than Doherty.
Yeah. It seems to go better with the South Americans. I think us British and Irish guys, I'm not too sure that's the look for us.
It certainly wouldn't be the look for me, that's for sure. Hogan and I both have sort of fairly sensible, nondescript haircuts that wouldn't turn any heads at all. Aït-Nouri doesn't look in great shape here. He's being attended to by 3 physiotherapists, and in fact it looks as if he is going to be replaced by Hugo Bueno. That would be a like-for-like swap at left-back. Bueno, former born, I should say, in Vigo in Spain.
He actually did really well, Bueno, when he first came into the Wolves team, and he seems to have lost his way. Obviously, the competition with Aït-Nouri, who is a good defender and good player himself. But
it's going to come off to a round of applause. Aït-Nouri played really well in the first half. I mean, you singled him out, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, not singled him out, but he was one of the ones you were praising.
Yeah.
25 minutes to go, and on comes Hugo Bueno. He's got a twin brother who plays for Dortmund, Guillermo. He's on wearing number 17 for the last 25 minutes. It's going to be a long 25 minutes for Wolves, I think.
Yeah.
I think Wolves' ambitions have changed from we can win this game to half-time to possibly we can get a point now.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that might be more the attitude their fans will adopt. Here's Robertson with a throw-in. 10 yards from the corner flag on the near side for Liverpool. Finds Diaz. Liverpool give it away. And then Bellegarde is in a bit of a spot, but he does well to get it back to his goalkeeper, Sarr, who hoofs it upfield first time. Matip with the sideway header. Kwanzaa just about recovers the situation, but he comes through to Mario Lemina. It's not a good ball. It's gone out of play square on the left-hand side. And Liverpool will have a throw-in. We're almost at the midway point of the second half. Liverpool have got the goal that has got them level. Can they go on and win the game?
Liverpool just looks so much more dynamic and energetic when Luis Diaz is in the team. I think he offers that. Of course he has the quality, but his willingness to run is brilliant.
Oh, that's a handball, surely.
Yeah.
Yes, it is, but it's outside the box, so it'll be a free kick to Liverpool. Lee Hart, regular listener, is in England, holidaying in Blighty. Had to go and see a Leeds game. Oh, that's great.
Love that.
Wow, fantastic. You'll love it. The atmosphere's sensational at Elland Road, isn't it?
Yeah, fabulous place.
I'm just looking at the fixture sets to see who you've got. In the Championship now, of course, Leeds. Maybe they're playing tomorrow, are they? Oh, they're at Millwall. There's a picture of Leeds. That's a picture of Elland Road, but anyway. Good luck at Millwall.
Yeah, that'll be some atmosphere, that.
There. It's not the friendliest ground in English football, that's for sure.
Especially that fixture.
No. Yeah, that's all police leave cancelled, that one, isn't it? Here's Fabio Silva. Here we're at the midway point in the second half. It's 1-1. All to play for. Gomez finds Szoboszlai, who's dropped deep. Now it's Curtis Jones. Virtually the whole of the second half has been played inside the Wolves half. Salah can't get on the end of that, but suddenly Wolves bring it away. This is excellent play by Pedro Neto. He was trying to tease it across towards Fabio Silva, who made a good run, but he didn't quite find him. It just hit a Liverpool player on the way through, and Liverpool were able to stifle that, but it was brilliant skill initially by Neto, who's been fantastic today.
Yeah, beautiful play. No surprise to see him and Bellegarde linking up again.
Yeah.
You just feel that with the changes, Doherty and Fabio Silva for Cunha and Hwang, it's taken a little bit away from their attacking threat. So if Wolves are going to get anything, you're going to think Pedro Neto will be at the heart of it, Bellegarde will be at the heart of it.
Jose Sarr with the clearance for Wolverhampton Wanderers, but he's put it straight out of play, which invites an opportunity for Liverpool to counter-attack and get back and try and win this game. If they do win, they will leapfrog Manchester City, albeit temporarily, depending on what Manchester City do in their game against West Ham. West Ham are fourth in the table and going well, and unbeaten so far with 3 wins and a draw. Now then, here's Salah trying to find Diaz. Diaz to Nunez. Nunez edge of the box. Diaz. Nunez! Brilliant save. Fantastic save by Jose Sarr, who threw himself point blank at that and made sure, or was it a defender? I'm not sure, but either way, Wolves defended very, very solidly there, but Liverpool are beginning to cause problems here. This is Diaz inside the box, just teasing it forward and winning a corner, but desperate defending from Wolves there to keep it at 1-1.
How is that not a goal? I'll never know. Nunez has to score. It looked like a combination of Sarr and Kielman. Brilliant block in the end, whoever it was.
Yeah,
he has to score. Diaz does brilliantly there to find him. Sarr,
the defender and the keeper.
Yeah, Kielman's flying in as well. Probably puts Nunez off a little bit, but
very committed defending. Wasn't
it? Love that, and that's what Wolves are going to need in the last 20 minutes of this game.
Corner to Liverpool. 20 minutes left. Robertson with an outswinger, and it's headed away, but nodded back by Szoboszlai, who directs it straight back to Robertson, who crosses again. This time It's cleared by Dawson, but Szoboszlai again is the recipient and finds Gomez. Gomez clips it in. It's nodded away by Semedo. This is going to be a very long 20 minutes indeed for Wolverhampton Wanderers, you said. Ball's just come back off Szoboszlai for a throw-in to Wolves. Oh, Lee Hart tells me that was from last Friday against West Brom. My Canadian granddaughter has learned some new phrases. I doubt we could repeat them on this programme. Well, I'm glad you had a good time anyway. And it's lovely to come across and see some English football. Russ is enjoying the great commentary. I remember Hogan's first goal for Leeds. I think Wolves will get a late winner here. Do you remember your first goal for Leeds?
I do. It was the one and only for Leeds.
No wonder it sticks in the memory.
Yeah, I think that was at Ellen Road Carabao Cup game against Accrington Stanley, if I'm right.
The mighty Accrington Stanley.
Thankfully there was no VAR because the deflection was huge.
Was it?
Yeah.
Would you have not had it now? Would they have given it to someone else?
No
did they just take pity on you and thought you deserved one?
Yeah, hopefully.
That's great. That's a great memory, that, Russ, remembering Hogan's goal against Leeds. Russ reckons Wolves are going to win. It doesn't look like that at the moment to me, but you never know. It's still 1-1. Here's Gomez flicking it forward. Liverpool head it forward through their Gomez. One with a Z, Liverpool. One with an S, Wolves. Here's the one with a Z in a red shirt, about to take the throw and finding Szoboszlai, but he's muscled off the ball by Fabio Silva, which really shouldn't happen. Fabio Silva is not the most muscular of centre forwards, is he?
Yeah, he shouldn't be getting muscled off the ball by Fabio Silva.
Not. Here's Szoboszlai. The ball runs almost past him and it's been robbed. It's Lemina. Oh, but he's been pulled back. Wolves fans are furious. There's a whistle. They thought there was a break there with Lemina. He had Fabio Silva. He's made a couple of good runs, Fabio Silva, and Lemina, to add insult or add injury to insult, has gone down holding his leg, and the referee's allowed play to continue. So Michael Oliver's not a very popular figure at Molineux at the moment. Here's Luis Diaz just trying to find a way through it. Oh, now it hits the referee. He's not popular with Liverpool now because he's going to have to... We just said he was one of the best referees, which he clearly is. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all.
I was just going to say, I was singing his praises, but I think he's
toe to the ball, hasn't he?
It's one of those ones where it's a 3v2 break. I think he's gave it. If that's in the middle of the pitch and Liverpool have 5 players behind the ball, there's no chance that's a foul.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think he's won the ball there with his toe.
Totally agree.
I think Wolves are justifiably not happy. Michael Oliver now has the ball in his hands, and Lemina is getting rather gingerly back to his feet, but I think he's going to be okay. He's shaking his head, and I don't blame him.
I know the Premier League or football in general comes up with new rules every season, which can be so annoying, but the one I do like is the players, when they get treatment, they have to come off the pitch for 30 seconds. Yeah. We've seen today it just stops players going down.
Yeah, I agree. Here's Diaz finding Szoboszlai. Here's Curtis Jones. Liverpool still looking for a winner that would take them top of the table. Here's Gomez. And now in centre midfield it's Dominik Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones, who shows good strength to hold off his man. Finds Elliott. Elliott goes back and finds Matip. Wolves good shape at the moment, denying Liverpool any gaps to get through, but here's Elliott again, lively little midfield player. Ball down the right hand side to Gomez. Gomez looks to cross it straight at Kilman, who controls with his chest before thumping it up towards halfway, where Matip controls it. Fabio Silva tries to win it but can't, and Matip goes back to Quansah. Here's Diaz. Still 15 minutes to go in this one, plus stoppage time. Good ball by Diaz to Elliott. Elliott inside the box, twisting and turning. Gomez with what looks an overhit cross. Nunez nods it back towards Diaz. It's cleared and then hit on the half volley, left-footed by Dominik Szoboszlai, who scored a terrific goal against Villa last time out, but on that occasion got underneath it and hoofed it over.
Yeah, he's confident in his technique. Left-footed half volley like that, he's fancying himself. But just saw the stats there. Wolves in the first half, 26 touches in the opposition box. So far in this half, 1 touch.
Yeah.
They've just shown no attacking intent. They've ran themselves into the ground. You have to give them that. Bellegarde's down at the moment.
Yeah.
You can see the effort that he's put in. He's probably thinking, what have I joined here? This league, it's just frenetic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's his first appearance in the Premier League, having come from Ligue 1 in France. Wolves are going to make another substitution in just a moment. As Fabio Silva's header goes straight to Joel Matip. Now it's Szoboszlai just inside his own half, pushes it forward to Curtis Jones, who's looking to take on his man, but it's good defending by Bueno, but then Bueno concedes a free kick. Jones fouled. It'll be a set piece for Liverpool just inside their own half. Here's Quansah, who's done okay, hasn't he, on his debut? He's had a couple of moments, but he's made good recoveries.
Yeah, I think he's shown good composure. He's done well.
Elliott finding Gomez for Liverpool. Elliott again, far side, midway inside the Wolves half. Plays a square ball across field to Jones, who just tucks it back to Quansah again. This is Luis Diaz. Now Darwin Núñez, back to Diaz. Diaz running forward. It's half blocked, but Robertson will try and keep it alive for Liverpool, and it's smashed out of play by Bellegarde, who looks as if he's very leggy and weary, and I think he's going to come off. He's going to get a standing ovation. Listen to that, and he deserves it. His first half performance was superb.
Brilliant. He should be very pleased with the 77 minutes he's shown there on his debut. The Wolves fans, they'll be looking at, they've got a real promising player on their hands.
Definitely. He's been superb. He's off. I think Lemina's going to come off as well, because he looks to be injured. I think it's just tiredness from Bellegarde's point of view, but that's a double sub for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Lemina and Bellegarde, the two players coming off, both of them having performed extremely well, and on come Tommy Doyle and Boubacar Traoré. Traoré is a defensive midfield player. Doyle is a little bit more attacking. Tommy Doyle was a Manchester City player, although he only made 7 appearances, but his lineage is magnificent. Both of his grandfathers are former Manchester City players, Mike Doyle and Glyn Pardo. I can remember them in the 1970s, part of that great team under Joe Mercer, with the likes of Franny Lee and Colin Bell and all those guys. They were good players, those two, and he's the grandson who's now at Wolves. He's had a slight injury problem, and this is his first appearance of the season. He'll make a name for himself here if he can get a goal, but at the moment Wolves are concentrating on defending, which Dawson does with a mighty heave upfield, which Quansah puts into touch.
What I've liked more about Liverpool this half, in the first half Gomez was doing what we mentioned, the Trent Alexander-Arnold role, coming into midfield, but him and Robinson have been wider, like traditional fullbacks. We mentioned in the first minute of the second half Robinson's cross on the volley, then you mentioned Joe Gomez's cross where Darwin Núñez just didn't gamble, and it's just going back to basics really, instead of overcomplicating it, where Gomez didn't look comfortable in the first half.
It's a good ball by Doyle with his first touch to find Fabio Silva. Silva gets it out wide to Neto. Neto crosses, Silva's in the middle. Good header away by Quansah. Showed his strength there. But Wolves having a little spell, they were, but they've given it away now. They have a throw in on this near side close to the technical areas, conceded by Luis Diaz. Just over 10 minutes left at Molineux. All to play for at 1 apiece. Crossfield ball by Semedo, cut out by Gomez, who finds Matip, who clears long, chased by Salah, who really, other than that assist for the goal, has done very little. Mo Salah, we've not seen a lot of him. He's had a very, very quiet game. 5 times in the past to score against Wolves. Doyle plays another good ball and picks out Semedo. Semedo thinks about a shot. Instead it's come to Doherty. Back to Semedo, who shoots. It hits Matip. There are Wolves fans screaming handball. It wasn't. And that was the first time really in this second half that Wolves have created anything in and around the Liverpool box.
Yeah, Doyle, a lovely little pass inside to Semedo, who then him and Doherty combine. Decent chance that.
Quansah has gone down with a bit of cramp, the youngster. we look at this again, Doyle's played a couple of really good passes, hasn't he, since he came on? He could be a useful acquisition for them. So he hasn't really been fully fit this season yet.
Yeah, you would imagine him coming through the academy at Manchester City, he'll be a really good footballer. It's never a handball there against Matip.
A completely natural position. He did hit his elbow, but it was an entirely natural position.
Yeah.
Couldn't possibly be a handball, and Mike Oliver's got that one absolutely right. Don't forget, we've got games coming up for you as ever. Next up, it's Manchester United against Brighton. Russ Hargreaves and Dave Kitson, and then Tom Rennie and David Connolly will be talking you through Newcastle against Brentford. Don't forget, at 3 o'clock, we've got West Ham against Manchester City. Now then, here's Fabio Silva, who can't find a way through. Alisson plays a ball out of his area to Curtis Jones, who stumbles over. It's a free kick to Liverpool. Quansah is still struggling, and he's gone down again, this youngster. I think
if anybody
probably the physicality of it. I don't know whether it's cramp or whether he's got a calf problem, but he's down injured.
I think it's cramp.
Yeah, I would imagine it probably is. I mean, he's only played 2 substitute appearances before, and as we said, he's done okay. He looks a strong lad.
Yeah.
I don't know what is Klopp complaining about now. He's going to bring on Konate in just a minute, so it looks like Quansah's going to come off. Konate's had injury problems of his own lately, but he is about to come on.
If anybody wanted reaffirming of the physicality of the Premier League, how demanding it is, you look at Bellegarde coming off with cramp 75, Quansah today.
And the youngster here with his first start, a debut for Bellegarde and a first start for Quansah. Konate's used to it, and he's had a hamstring problem, but he's on for the last 8 minutes plus stoppage, but probably be about 5 minutes, I would guess, at the moment of that. Here's Konate with his first touch. That pairing has a little bit more of a familiar look. As I mentioned, Virgil van Dijk suspended for a second game, and I think rightly so. Didn't like what he did when he got sent off. Here's Darwin Núñez for Liverpool, who's scored late winners, of course, already this season up at St James's, but they're still looking for a winner here. No, I think they were right with Van Dijk. I mean, he got sent off, but he was a tirade of abuse to the referee, and he called him a joke, didn't he? Which is not good.
I actually think Van Dijk was lucky to just get an additional one-match ban.
Yeah.
I thought it could have been 3 games.
I like to see that, because they are trying to clamp down on dissent.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he's that sort of personal player particularly. He's clearly furious, but fair enough, and he's missed 2 games, but he'll be back for the next one.
Yeah.
Wolves' next one is Luton away. And then they play Ipswich in the League Cup. Ipswich have started well in the Championship, having been promoted last season. Here's Harvey Elliott driving it diagonally forward. Doherty's underneath it with a flick header which goes out of play. It's a throw into Liverpool. Robertson takes it quickly and finds Diaz. Diaz pushes it infield to Szoboszlai and then gets it back and wants to find a way past Doyle, and he's doing well, Diaz. It's a great run by Luis Diaz, and then a shot by Harvey Elliott which is blocked. The referee had already played advantage, so he was going to bring that back, and Konate to Núñez, who tries to find Konate and does. Darwin Núñez, Harvey Elliott with the flick. It's a chance here, and Diaz's shot is brilliantly blocked by Craig Dawson. One of the features of Wolverhampton Wanderers' performance today has been the quality of their defending. They have put bodies on the line, and that was brilliant from Dawson.
Yeah, you've took the words right out of my mouth. Bodies on the line. Him, Kilman, they've been brilliant at it. We've seen Lamina in the first half. Real die-hard defending. They're going to need that this season, Wolves. Back to the Wolves defending and strong.
It's a corner. In it comes, keeper claims comfortably Sarr. He wants to play it quickly upfield, which he does. A little bit too quickly, really. And it's picked up by Robertson, and he's found Salah on the far side. Salah, Robertson! Oh, lovely goal, Liverpool! It was a rapier thrust through the Wolves' defence. Salah gets his second assist, and Andy Robertson side foots into the net. It's his first goal since he scored against Wolves in a 3-1 win in May of 2022, and it looks as if he's sealed a comeback victory for the Reds, who could go top. Andy Robertson, the unlikely match winner, it seems. Wolves 1, Liverpool 2.
Oh, massive moment that for Liverpool. Robertson's the one who actually plays the ball out wide to Salah, continues his run. Great little finish out from Robertson. Just opens up the inside of his left foot, tucks it away. But it all comes from a terrible kick out from Jose Sarr. His kicking's been poor all day. I'm surprised he was rushing it. There was 5 minutes to go. Liverpool, the team with the momentum, and he's wanted to take a quick kick to try and get a counter-attack going. He sliced it and they just never recovered. Within 3 or 4 seconds, he's picking the ball out of his net. Massive goal that for Liverpool.
Yeah. Well, Andy Robertson had a terrible night in midweek at Hampden Park. He created a goal for England with an awful mistake and allowed Bellingham to make it 2-0, which was the killer goal from England's point of view. But he's come back on his 200th Premier League appearance for Liverpool. As I say, he hasn't scored since his last goal against Wolves. He's popped up. It was nicely taken, and well, I'm not trying to pretend that I'm Nostradamus here, but I think at half-time we had fears that this might happen. Because, and this is going to be Wolves' problem, you know, they're going to get themselves in front early in games, but unless you reinforce the advantage, I mean, they were better than 1-0 for half-time.
For sure.
They were 2 or 3-0 better than Liverpool, but they didn't get the goals. Here's Gomez as Liverpool look for another, and they might get it here with Salah, who finds Diaz. It bobbles around, he's on the deck, he's trying to get a foot out on it, but in the end it comes off him and goes behind, and Liverpool almost had a third there, and that would have completely ended it. But Salah, who, as we said, hasn't done a great deal other than provide 2 assists, which is not bad going.
Yeah, and when
set up both goals.
You mentioned stuff like that. There's no wonder Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp especially, they were adamant they didn't want to lose Mo Salah.
Yeah.
It's been one of the quieter games that you'll see from Mo Salah, but he's come up with two assists, and they're match-defining moments.
Yeah.
That's what the best players in the world can produce and give you. We see it week in, week out with Erling Haaland. He'll have 5 touches and score a hat-trick.
You feel for the Wolves fans, though, because they played so well in the first half. They face a corner here with 2.5 minutes to go. It's an outswinger, which eludes everybody and is finally headed away by Boubacar Traore. Fabio Silva will try and get something going at the other end, but the pass is intercepted by Joe Gomez, and you sense that Wolves' race is run. Salah is bombing down that channel again. Kilman is there to get it away from him and then knock it upfield. There's a tussle for the ball involving Harvey Elliott, who does win it. Here's Salah towards Nunez, and there's a header by Dawson that takes it back to his goal. You're right, though, it was a silly, hasty clearance by Sarr, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it went straight, I think it was Robertson who it landed at. He then fed Salah and continued his run. It was a really good goal.
Yeah, very good from Liverpool's perspective. But his kicking's been so poor today, Sarr. And especially in the modern game, when people talk about goalkeepers and their distribution, even in the first half there was a couple of moments, and I'm looking at it thinking, this isn't what you call the modern day goalkeeper.
Well, Wolves could find themselves back in the bottom 3 if Everton win. Everton under new ownership, of course, with the Americans having taken over at Goodison Park. They entertain Arsenal on Sunday. Cross for Wolves towards the far post, and Robertson, having got his goal, then does his defending with a flick header, and it'll be a corner to Wolverhampton Wanderers as we enter the 90th minute. Or will it? Maybe it'll be a goal kick. I haven't been very good at distinguishing corners and goal kicks today. I apologise for that.
It was a brilliant delivery.
Yeah, it was Robertson's presence, but it was a touch finally off Doherty. It's a goal kick.
Yeah, I'll be interested to hear Gary O'Neill's thoughts after the game. I think he'll want to take the positives from the game. He won't want to be too harsh on his players, but I think privately he'll be disappointed with how the second half panned out.
Yeah. Nice touch by Salah. Here's Elliott. Now it's Szoboszlai inside the centre circle. Out to Andy Robertson. He's captain today, Robertson, of course, as well. So it's been a momentous day for him. 200th Premier League appearance for Liverpool, captain and potential match winner, it seems. Here's Alisson. It's a nice little turn. You talk about a at one end, a goalkeeper who's not done well with his feet, but of course Alisson's the master. Here's Nunez breaking and finding Salah. Mo Salah's got Diaz, he tries to find him, it's blocked by Kilman, it comes back out to Mo Salah. Salah to Elliott, who strikes in, and it's in, and that's it. Liverpool have got the points. Harvey Elliott from the edge of the penalty area, the man who got the FA Cup match winner at Molineux last season, has absolutely set the seal on the Liverpool win. And Wolves, for all their efforts, are in the end beaten. Wolves 1, Liverpool 3.
Yeah, that's the game over there. Mo Salah again. He has the first opportunity when Nunez releases him, and I was surprised that Mo Salah went so early trying to release the ball. It deflects back to him, and then he just takes his time, picks out Elliott. Brilliant finish. But you were saying in the build-up to that goal, we were talking about the goalkeepers with the ball at their feet. It all starts with Alisson being super composed and just dinking it into Nunez at the halfway line. This will probably go down as an own goal, to be honest, against Bueno, but Harvey Elliott, take all the credit you want. You just got your team to 3 points.
It definitely came off Bueno and off the post. Elliott will want to claim it because he hasn't scored in the Premier League for over a year. His last goal was in that 9-0 thrashing of Bournemouth, but I'm pretty certain that will go down as an own goal, because we've just had a view of it from behind. It's not going in.
No.
That is a Bueno own goal, I think. We'll wait for confirmation of that, but I would certainly, if it was down to me, unfortunately, I would take it away from Harvey Elliott and give it to the Wolverhampton Wanderers substitute. It started with Nunez getting away from his man, and then it's a hat-trick of assists for Mo Salah. Dawson is still down on the deck, so the game hasn't concluded yet. We're into the second of 8 minutes of stoppage time, so it's very possible that we're going to we are, I think, going to overrun here. We'll let you know, but we will have Manchester United Brighton for you coming up. Harvey Elliott, well, he's been initially credited with the goal, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's taken away.
We spoke before the game about Jurgen Klopp moaning about the kick-off time and whatnot. This second half performance now you can go and moan about it. You can go and say, listen, first half we were poor, our legs weren't there, but now when you moan when you're winning, no one cares.
Dawson is still down while Salah comes off for Liverpool, having got a hat-trick of assists. I mean, you just can't keep him down. He hasn't done much other than set up 3 goals. He's either scored or assisted in all of his last 10 games, and actually he is now over 200 goal involvements for Liverpool, 199 prior to today, and he's got it up to 202. He hasn't scored, but my goodness me, he's had an impact on this game. We're still waiting for the match to restart, which means the 8 minutes of stoppage time are going to be somewhat elongated, has become something that we're getting used to this season. Liverpool, meanwhile, I think they're going to give a debut to Ryan Gravenberch, aren't they? Their new signing from Bayern Munich. Long faces on the Wolves bench. They know that they've toiled so hard, they've played well, although you'd have to say probably in the second half Liverpool has been as dominant as Wolves were in the first, so it's kind of been one of that. But the difference is you'd always fancy Liverpool to score, and unfortunately you don't always fancy Wolves to score, and in the end that's been the difference. But
you saw the face of Mateus Cunha there. His chance will be running through his head all night.
Absolutely.
Fabulous chance to make it 2-0.
Absolutely,
no excuses in missing that.
Here's Robertson, who's found Diaz, and now it's Szoboszlai. Good feet from him, finds Diaz on the near side. Liverpool will be happy, I think, just to knock the ball around. The job is done. Canate goes back to Alisson. You're absolutely right to highlight the 2 goalkeepers. I mean, the goal by Robertson was a direct result of terrible feet from the Wolves goalkeeper, and the Liverpool goal started with Alisson. Now then, here's Diaz. He can get one now, possibly. Keeper saves just. It wasn't a terribly powerful effort by Luis Diaz, who really should have made it 4-1, but that would have been cruel on Wolves, to be honest. And Jose Sarr kind of initially parried and then grabbed it under his crossbar to avoid a fourth goal. They don't deserve to lose 4. They probably don't deserve to lose 3-1, actually, Wolves. But
I totally agree with you. I don't think the substitutions of the two attacking players going off in Cunha and Hwang helped. You brought on Fabio Silva, who's not offered much, and Doherty's not an attacking threat, really.
Well, he'll have easier games than this, arguably. Gary O'Neill, they're at Luton next. Having said that, their next home game is against Manchester City, and then they've got a derby against Villa. So, tough games ahead for them. They also play Ipswich in the League Cup, which will not be their priority.
The game away at Luton's already looking like a huge one.
Massive, yeah, absolutely. Luton are in action later today at Fulham. Ryan Gravenberch, incidentally, has come on for his Liverpool debut as a substitute, but he's not going to get much game time. 25 appearances in the Bundesliga for Bayern Munich. He just got 1 goal for them in the German Cup. Here's Dawson, who's okay after that lengthy stoppage. Plays it away across towards the far side, but Wolves give it away. And here's Harvey Elliott, who, as I say, at the moment is being credited with that. No, he's not. It's been changed. Hugo Bueno own goal. That has now officially... Well, we're tied. I'm not quite sure who decides these things, but it is now a Bueno own. That's the correct decision, unfortunately, for Elliott, who's going to have to wait to end his goalless patch of over 12 months.
The likes of Harvey Elliott, Curtis Jones, Quansah that we saw today, you would think that Liverpool being in the Europa League, they'll get a lot more football, a lot more minutes, and that could help the progression of these young players.
One good thing, I suppose, when the European thing starts, they won't be playing this fixture, will they? They'll be playing on Sundays after their Europa League games on a Thursday. Here's Semedo. Silva is tackled. Szoboszlai comes forward for Liverpool and finds Darwin Núñez. Núñez sprinting forward with Diaz alongside him. It's Darwin Núñez looking to take on Craig Dawson. Still has it. The Uruguayan, now Elliott. And now Gravenberch trying to wiggle his way through. He goes down in the area. Liverpool fans scream penalty. It's a bit decisive for me from Gravenberch. It was good skill, but you think, why not have a shot? He then tried to drag it back. I think he was trying to show Liverpool fans that he's got a little bit about him.
Wolves just look like they want the full-time whistle now. They're running to the ground. They're a little bit ragged.
Well, we've had 8 minutes, but there'll probably be an extra bit, so there'll probably be another 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Our broadcast is going to overrun, but don't worry, we'll be in plenty of time for the next instalment of this Premier League Saturday when we're at Old Trafford for Manchester United against Brighton. That'll be a really good game. I like that. I love the way Brighton play.
Fabulous.
Terrific manager in Roberto De Zerbi, and they seem to, every season they seem to lose all their best players and get better. Here's Elliott. That's a clever ball. Diaz is onto it. But, so too is the slithering Semedo, but it's not a very good clearance. It's picked up by Núñez. Núñez back to Elliott. Elliott's desperate to get a goal, isn't he? He's on the end of everything at the moment. Here's Robertson, who has got a goal, and a crucial one too. Szoboszlai. It's going to be a 4th successive win for Liverpool. The team they failed to beat, Chelsea at home on the opening day, so they're putting together a good run. I wouldn't say they've been brilliant today. For 45 minutes they were terrible. But, you know, this is not necessarily the sort of fixture in which seasons are judged, but coming here, getting the points. It's the 13th time they've beaten Wolves in 14 Premier League games. Just the one last season where they got beaten 3-0 after an early John Matip own goal. Here is Matip on the ball. He'll have enjoyed his afternoon rather more at Molineux than he did last time he came here. Elliott goes back to Alisson. We're into the 100th minute now. Alisson drives it forward with his right foot. It's headed away by Kilman. And all the energy that Wolves had has slowly sapped away in the second half. As he said, they can't wait for the whistle. Klopp is now sat down, looking rather more pleased with himself than he was at half-time.
He'll be delighted with this. I was mentioning about Gary O'Neill taking the positives. Klopp, I think, to the players will kind of wash away the first half, make excuses for them.
Here's Dawson, and now Doherty. Back to Dawson. Doherty, of course, in his second spell at Wolverhampton Wanderers. They're beginning to drift away from Molineux now. The home fans, the Liverpool fans, have enjoyed half of their day, I would say. Probably didn't enjoy the first half at all. But in the end, it's the points that count, perhaps more than the style in which you win them. There they are. You can hear the Liverpool ringing out across Molineux. To be fair, too many of the Wolves fans have actually left. They are bearing it out.
Yeah, I think they'll give their players a good reception. I think they can see that they've given their all. For 85 minutes, they would have been delighted at 1-1.
Well, if they play like they did in the first half against a so-called lesser side, if they can find the net more regularly, they should be okay.
Yeah, they have to look at the positives of Neto looking back to his best, Bellegarde playing well. The centre half's very good, very brave in their defending.
Dawson's cross away by Matip, still playing. Now in 102 minutes. Goes harmlessly through to Alisson. I think the Wolves fans just want the referee to put this game out of its misery for them from their point of view. There are plenty of empty seats behind that goal. Virgil van Dijk is looking on, looking forward to being back in harness for Liverpool in the Premier League when they entertain West Ham next week. That'll be a good one. Well, it was a horrific first half, but Liverpool got through in the end, trailing at half-time to Hwang Hee-chan's goal. They came back with 3 in the second half, all of them set up by Mo Salah. A tap-in for Cody Gakpo, and well-taken goal by Andy Robertson, and then an own goal by Hugo Bueno from a deflected shot by Harvey Elliott. Message to our broadcast partners: we will be extending this broadcast by at least 5 minutes due to the added on time. We've pretty much run out of time. My thanks to Hogan Ephraim for being with us. My thanks to you for listening. Don't forget, we've got Brighton against Manchester United coming up in just a moment. But Liverpool, for the time being, are top of the Premier League. They lead Manchester City by a point. They have 13 points from 5 games, but of course Manchester City play later on and can regain that lead. But Liverpool, for the time being, after a less than spectacular performance, are where they want to be. Don't go away. We've got Manchester United coming up for you in just a moment, but it's been a pleasure talking you through this one on Premier League Live. I'm John Anderson. Enjoy the rest of your Premier League Saturday. See you soon on Premier League Live.